Hi, today I want to post a video talking about why sometimes it seems harder for a lot of us on this healing journey to actually release everything that, we're trying to release our past traumas, any of our wounds. Sometimes it seems like there's some lingering energy there that we can't quite identify, like where it's coming from or how to get rid of it. There's a lot of ways that this could happen. Could be um, from some toxic ties or cords that are tethered to you or your energy from past relationships, family, coworkers, anything like that. And that energy that you're feeling might not actually be yours. It could be another person's that you're picking up on. There's a lot of ways to rid yourself of that, such as various cord cutting rituals, subliminals, energy work like Reiki are also helpful. Another way is that you may have done the emotional work, but the physical work hasn't quite been done. Even if you've dealt with it emotionally and have let it go, your body can still be remembering that trauma, and it gets stored and held in like various places in our body. I found somatic yoga to be quite helpful with that, which is a specific type of yoga with uh, tailored poses and techniques that target those areas where our body is known to typically hold stress and trauma. Also, there is breath work that can be helpful. I've also found some pretty powerful light language channelers that tailor their channelings to cleanse and rid the body of the physical body of such energies. Another one that I also came across that I didn't really take into consideration during the beginning of my own healing journey was a thing called generational trauma, which is what it sounds like, where it's inherited and passed down through like your family, into your DNA. So, so say your mother experienced abuse and never dealt with it, and that would be stored in her cells and then passed down to you during the pregnancy, and then it's encoded into your DNA. So you're carrying that trauma as well as whatever you experienced in your life. And then say your grandmother also was experiencing some type of abuse. And back in those days, you don't really talk about that stuff, so it gets brushed under the rug. So she, has a fear of being seen or speaking her truth. That gets passed down and passed down. And your great grandmother also, one of many brothers and sisters, was abused, but only if she was the first one, seen. So she learned to sink into the background and, not be seen. So there's a fear of being seen and things like that. And that gets passed down and then passed down. And so it kind of gets to be quite a lot. So it's not just your life experiences and your um, trauma that you're dealing with. You're dealing with your mothers and your grandmothers and your great grandmothers and so on and so forth. Not that it's anybody's fault, or not that I don't even think that when it's happening like that, it's not something that you're aware of, but I can tell you firsthand that it is possible to take all that on. It seems like a lot just to take on your own trauma and stuff when you start the whole healing journey. It's messy, it's gross, it's not a fun time. Like yeah, um, it is what it is. But once you have like an awareness and understand like concepts like these, it is definitely possible with that understanding and a open mind and a willing heart. Um, it's definitely possible. I am an entirely different person. I I look back at who I was and I'm just blown away by how far I've come. So I don't know, moral of the story is some of that weight and that baggage may not all be yours, but you may be the one person in your family that ends up breaking that cycle and healing generations of your family line, and ultimately breaking those chains and stopping that pattern from repeating and being passed down to your own children and your children's children in the DNA, which is totally worth it in my book. It also gets quite a bit messy, not gonna lie, but you have all the energies of the higher realms and the divine, and you have your guides that are always willing and happy to help you, just waiting for you to ask. Yeah, so my email is in the description box below if you want to learn more, or if you're ready to take on that task of breaking those chains and finally ridding yourself of all that weight that was not only yours to carry because you've been carrying it around long enough.